and today we have a reading for you about somebody who is involved in crime and we've got organized crime and life insurance. Now, this could literally be somebody who is, finding some way to monetize a criminal approach to life insurance, like, fraud. But we could also just keep in mind that for many, that organized crime situation often requires like monthly payments in order for you to be like protected under that group, right? So it feels to me like we have some trouble within the group. So even though we do crime together, I can't trust you, or this person is a mole, There's distrust amongst a group and someone who may be like poisoning the well. So let's call on spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwancetarot@gmail.com. You can find it in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. You can also find a link to my Etsy shop if you're interested in a homemade soy candle. But we need to get some more details here. We're going to use the Masonic Tarot. All right, what else do we have, please? What else? Six of Swords in the reverse and the Chariot. Yeah. I think we've got a group of people who had previously been able to kind of like run a neighborhood or run an area of town, and they're realizing that they have some issues within their group because of folks vying for power, throwing each other under the bus perhaps. But with the Chariot here, this feels to me like we could have an investigation happening that makes them nervous. We have the High Priest, which is the Hierophant, and the Three of Cups. All right, so we have multiple individuals who are trying to be seen as like the top dog or the person in charge. There could even be, like a decision process right now, trying to figure out who's going to lead this group. I'm trying not to reference things like Peaky Blinders, but it's hard not to think of that. And I haven't seen all of that show, maybe just like the first season or several episodes, but we have someone who, we have people vying for power. And in order to assert my dominance or make it clear that I should be the one who has that title, I'm going to make somebody else look bad, or I'm going to like take them out of the running. So we have the Knight of Mallets or the Knight of Pentacles with the Five of Swords in the reverse. This feels to me like multiple people are trying to be seen as like numero uno, the boss. And they are, even though they're competing with each other, they work together to get rid of one person, to rule one person out, so there's fewer folks left in the competition. This is not a warm, fuzzy reading, so just a little bit of a warning. Hello, Easy Trade, how are you doing? We have the Three of Swords and the Fool. Yeah, this feels to me like there's three serious contenders, and they're trying to make sure that nobody is still in the running for this like top billing that doesn't deserve it. And if you can't be ruthless, then you can't you know, be the boss. Hello, Sean. How are you doing? I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Four of Gold, which would be the Four of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I think there is a predecessor, or the person who was the boss is like dealing with failing health. So I don't know if that means they're necessarily the one who's making the choice. Yeah, they are. So they're all trying to impress one person. Kind of like, would that apply? I mean, there's definitely TV shows and movies where you've had somebody leading a law firm or something like that, and they're trying to choose who's going to be their like successor, who's going to take over when I step down because I can't do this anymore. Hello, Willie. How are you doing? Hello, DeMarcus. I don't know what you're asking, but I hope you're having a good day. We've got somebody here who feels like I have to really make sure that whoever takes my place or whoever becomes the boss after me really knows what they're doing. So I'm gonna get everybody to show their mettle, show what they're made of. Are you actually deserving of this? But this King of Wands or King of Gold, I know that's unusual. Most of you might think that's the King of Pentacles, but the mallets are associated with the Earth energy in the Masonic Tarot. This is like, I need to make sure of the people who feel like they have a shot at being the boss. I need to make sure that they're actually ready, that they're actually like multifaceted. It can't just be, you know the most people, or people are afraid of you, or you know how to, anticipate what moves the business should make. With the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, there's someone here who could be an excellent leader if they weren't awful at business. And maybe that's the person who's been eliminated from the running. But it does feel to me like there are some, like this King of Wands has retained their mental faculties, or they're making this decision when they still have that. Hello, GS. How are you doing? Being judgy? Look, I'm going to give you a little bit of a timeout, a little baby timeout. You want to come back? Maybe say hello? Then you're allowed to hang out. Why does that matter to you, R? Hello, Boquito. How are we going to do this today? Should we take a note of the time at 6:46 here and see how long you last? No. Thanks, though, R. Hello, Nina. How are you doing? So we have the King of Swords and the Four of Swords. Someone who is very determined to be chosen as the boss and willing to throw others under the bus. There's no sense of camaraderie here. It's really just, I feel like this should be me. I won't say too much because it's like an ongoing show, but I've been watching Dutton Ranch, and the son of Beulah has this energy. His name's Rob Will. So it's just like, I don't know if there's some sort of mood enhancer or substance here, but we have somebody who is not necessarily concerned for others' well-being. They just want to be in charge. They just want to be able to do what they want to. Hello, Gracie. How are you doing? Aw, I'm glad to hear that, Gracie. Yeah, it sounded like there was a lot going on for him. All right, Bokito, it's been real. Good morning, Shayla. How are you doing? Oh, no way. And doesn't he also have like a singing career? Gracie says you're gonna get banned. I literally hid him from the channel. He can't come back now. Bokito, you ruined it. We tried, man. We tried. It's okay, though. I still wish you well. So we've got the Queen of Cups in the reverse and Judgment in the reverse. See, the thing is, I feel like this King of Swords is looking to, like, take control, or I'm gonna make everybody look incapable of being the boss and make, like, quick work of being chosen as the next boss. But what they do shows to the King of Wands, who is still the boss, that they don't have the ability to win over people. Because when you have this responsibility, picking up on what this King of Wands is thinking, if you're going to be the boss, you can't just be hated by everyone. If the only thing you got going for you is a backhand, you're going to not have people who want to work for you. You're going to have people who just want to usurp your power. And the King of Wands is very aware of that. So in the King of Swords' efforts to make it seem like, haha, I am the best, they actually end up exposing that they are not a good choice for leadership, because they don't have the ability to be generous or build rapport when it's necessary, because you also have to be able to make partnerships happen. Oh my gosh. Already? It's like 8 a.m. out there? I shall. I'm sending you protective energy, and I hope you have a good time, Vaccinator. Yeah, same here, Shayla. It took me a little extra time. So sometimes people are overly confident. They feel like they know what is needed in a situation, but they don't understand the nuances or the complexities. So this King of Swords is out here like, well, I can chop anyone down. I can make anyone fearful of me. But this King of Wands is too smart for that and looks at it as, okay, but when the time comes for you to win people over, do you actually know how to do that? Because it looks like you don't. 4 of Pentacles in the reverse, 10 of Cups in the reverse, 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, just like Gracie was saying. Right, it was Gracie? Nope, Shayla. Shayla said it. You got to read the room. The King of Swords doesn't know how to read the room. As a result, they might be like eliminated from consideration. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing? What else do we have? Sarah, I will do, when I hit 25,000 subscribers, I'm going to do free questions for people, like a live stream dedicated to it. So you might want to stop by for that. But if you continue to ask for one card when you know how it works on my channel, it's going to get irksome, okay? So please just keep in mind that the way I do personal questions would be adding your request to a super chat, and then I create a list, and I do that after the general reading. I would very much so like to not have to explain that to you again, please. So we have the Two of Wands in the reverse, Strength in the reverse, and the Eight of Wands. Sometimes people think they are demonstrating how smart or clever they are, when in reality, they're exposing their flaws. And that's exactly what this King of Swords has done. They felt like they were going to be clearly the best choice, but they've only made it easier for the King of Wands to basically say, you don't have what it takes. Sit down. Take a seat. You are not going to get selected because you don't know how to leverage both sides of the coin. You only know how to scare people. It is important to also be beloved, as you know, you also need to be a little bit feared. And this King of Swords only has one of those things figured out. Five of Pentacles and the Hermit in the reverse. So because you lack that experience or that know-how, because you seem to think that you can just push everyone around, this King of Wands is saying, sorry, King of Swords, you don't get it. You're not going to be the boss. We have the Queen of Wands, Temperance, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Comparatively, we have this Queen of Wands who is beloved, or people feel a sense of loyalty. With Temperance, we do have that sense of balance. This is somebody who actually knows how to read the room, how to balance out those qualities. I can make friends, but I can also make war. And so this Queen of Wands is perhaps at the top of the list when the King of Wands is looking to make their selection. Let's keep in mind the Queen of Wands does not need to be a woman. The King of Wands does not need to be a man. These are just cards, right? Not necessarily physical attributes. This is the situations deck. Hello, Heather. How are you doing? Oh, thank you, Gracie. Thank you for liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me. Love, adore, admire, enchantment, and projected future weeks and months. So there are still, I don't know, let's say a few weeks here before this decision is made final. But a big part of the decision, as far as who's going to be the next boss, is do you actually have people who want to work for you? Do you have people who respect you and want to be a part of what you're doing? Ah, okay. No worries. Still fun. Hello to Crisp. How are you? Hello, Triple D. Hello, Gavin. How are you doing? I just read what to Chris said. That makes me think of the joke that Will Ferrell told. It might have been on the movie Step Brothers, but I don't think I should tell it here. It's also got to do with a washing machine. So I feel like if you Google Will Ferrell and washing machine, you will be excited about the joke that you read. I'm doing well. How about you, Gavin? Hello, Evil Toms. What's up? So we've got negotiator. Everybody's trying to make themselves look better or like a better option, right? And there's definitely a focus here on family. I mean, we're talking about organized crime, so I think you all know there's probably a family affiliation here. But there's also there's still some, what's the word, jockeying, trying to get into position, right? Trying to look like the best option. Maybe even trying to share some scandalous information about the competition. What can I do to make someone else look bad so that I look like a better choice? It's not an interview for the light of heart or the faint of heart. And financial support. Oh my. Okay, so that's interesting. We definitely have someone who's entitled with that family card and the child on here. It's kind of reminiscent of Dutton Ranch in that there is a potential heir that is not related by blood. So there was, or there is, a child that she actually had of her own body, and then there is a child that arguably she's closer to, that was like dropped on her doorstep, according to her. Hello, Psalm. I would say the King of Swords has mostly been dismissed because they are too much of a fighter, and they don't know how to also be a lover. They don't know how to also be striking deals with people without just threatening them, right? Ooh, the number 3 is standing out for me, Gracie. There is some fear of favoritism here, and people who feel like maybe the King of Wands has already made up their mind, even though they haven't announced anything. But there is entitlement and fear and frustration and trying to make other people look bad. So it's not a very happy environment right now with all of the attempts to make someone else look like they can't handle it, but you know, I can. What do we want? So I can't help but to think of the episode in Star Trek where Picard is leveraged in a Klingon decision about who should take over the Klingon Federation. Feel free to call me a dork or a nerd or whatever for liking Star Trek, but I'm gonna go with the Star Trek Tarot right now for that. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. They say a month. I don't agree with that, because how quickly do you potentially change your mind on something? Take into effect when you make that decision, what are the moving pieces? What are the cogs in this wheel, right? Because if it's primarily about things that have deadlines, then yeah, maybe a month makes sense. But when I say 3 days, it's because many of the questions that people ask have to do with how somebody feels about something. And that can change on a dime, right? You could have somebody who is in love with you one day, and in the next 24 hours, they fall out of love. Things regarding feelings can change very quickly. But if it's more so about like your career path or like, will I, you know, pass the bar exam? Yeah, it probably makes sense to take a little bit more time. But when we talk about feelings, those change quickly. Oh, Lord. Nina, I don't know if you know how much is back there, but I don't know if I can add that to the reading this morning. That being said, Nina, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, by the way. I think that I'm going to have to do another video where I tell you all about the tarot and oracle decks that I have. And if I can, I could probably do the gems as well. But I got to be honest, like, I don't know what some of them are because I have too many. But I shall try. Yes, Psalm, you are correct about that. And you're so polite, Nina, to say sorry to interrupt. Thank you. You're very kind. However, I do have like a little cheat sheet that tells me different names that might be helpful. But like this one, I don't know what this is. I just found it. This one, I don't know. I found it at my favorite lake. This one, I know this is pyrite because it sparkles. And the one on the Masonic Tarot, Bumblebee Jasper. It's hard to forget that one. So some of them I know, others I'm like, oh, I don't know. This one's a smoky quartz. All right, so from the Star Trek Tarot, we have the Six of Latinum, which is the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Eight of Starships or the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Oh, the guy who gets rejected, I shouldn't say guy. It most likely is a guy, let's be real, but it doesn't have to be. This King of Swords person who doesn't seem to know how to be nice to people. They only know how to like boss people around. They're not taking the fact that they've lost or been kicked out of this competition very lightly. I explained it, Tattoo. Were you not there when I explained it? Were you the one who was trying to figure out how old I am? Or were you trying to mock tarot readers? Because it was about the same time, and you were one of them. But it all boils down to, if you're not being respectful, then I will put you in a timeout. Gracie, I have done a Q&A. Probably about like 1.5 or 2 years ago. Hello, Donna. I hope that gets easier for you. Hello, Rick. What's up? Hello, Hazelnut. It's funny how you spell that. Oh, no worries, Nina. I appreciate it. I have a favorite store. I love the ladies that work there. And I don't know. It's a struggle to keep track of all of them. I think at this point, set up at the table, I have like maybe 116 tarot decks and oracle decks. Yes, that was it, Tattoo. So feel free to be more respectful than that. You know, like I wouldn't start off my conversation judging people. You can look at it that way, Tattoo, but I think the way I phrased it makes more sense. If you're going to be disrespectful, then I will time you out. That's just how it is. I like to maintain like respectful energy in the live chat. Thank you, Rick. Hey, Joshua, I don't tend to do sign-based readings, but I do have a playlist on my page if you would like to check that out. Part of the reason I don't do sign-based readings is because on each of my live streams, I do personal questions. So if you want to get something specifically for you, then you're able to, right? Okay, Tattoo, would you like to be friends, or did you just come on the live chat to be antagonistic? Because we can still be friends. I forgive very easily, but it seems like you're kind of upset about it. You come in and you say a judgmental thing about somebody, you know, maybe don't start that way. I start off by greeting people and asking them how they're doing. Maybe you could do that. Hello, Linda. How are you doing today? Lee, how are you doing? I hope all is going well. The clam bake. Absolutely. Drama or no? I hope no drama or very minimal drama. Oh, hey, there we go. I could totally go work with that. I'm doing pretty well, thank you. How about you? Do you have any fun plans for the weekend? Hello, 700. What's up? Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the floating heart, Nina. I appreciate it. So we have the Ace of Starships and the Queen of Cloaks. And if you watch Star Trek, you probably recognize her. Yeah. See, Tasha Yar was taken from the show too soon. I think the story goes she was wanting to switch to something different. And maybe it was a bit of a misstep in her career. But the thing is, this King of Wands, who is currently the boss, they're probably also the Hierophant, if we're real, right? Because that would be the leader. This is somebody who appreciates how important it is to have that, like the ability to extend an olive branch, or, you know, I saved this person from financial ruin, so they always have my back. It makes me think of a video I saw the other day. What was I think it was a lion named Kovu, Kovu. I'm going to be so impressed if that's actually right. Who was cared for by a human in his youth. And that lion never forgot that human. Because it wasn't just one day, here's some food, or here's some protection. It was, you know, over the course of months. And then that same man ended up having a medical emergency out in the wild and passing out, and no one knew where he was. And there were like trail cameras that observed Kovu the lion standing over this man and protecting him from those who would cause him harm until the other members of that organization found him. So that lion had a sense of loyalty, right? You had my back when I was young. I didn't have anyone. So when you're in a place where you could, you know, be in danger, I'm going to take care of you, right? Oh, are we already back to being rude? Come on, Tattoo. We can do better than that, can't we? Aw. I believe in you. Let's be friendly. We can do this. But calling people harpies, and especially when you can't spell it correctly, come on, bro. The love bug is seasonal. Hello, Esther. What's up? I mean, we can do this, but you keep name calling, Tattoo. So I'm just gonna let you know, if you have, in my opinion, okay, if you have principled approaches to conversations that might have a tendency to slip into being contentious, my recommendation is to never rely on name calling, because it's not going to serve you well. So if you can approach things with respect and only talk about the things that are actually the problem, then you're not going to antagonize or make things contentious. But you've done a lot of name calling in your time in the live chat here, Tattoo. So my hope is for you, taking away from this conversation, that name calling is for second graders, okay? You don't need to do that. You're smarter than that. You can have a coherent conversation with someone without calling them a lonely witch or a harpy. That's beneath you, okay? No one takes that seriously. Thank you, Triple D. I appreciate that. Hello, is it Sharon? I hope I say your name correctly. I hope you're having a good day. Tis true, Dracula. All right, so we have somebody who is capable of building loyalty, somebody who knows when to leverage strength or invoke fear, but also somebody who knows how to show respect, right? That's important. The Hermit. This Hermit energy is clarifying that Queen of Wands. So maybe there are people who think this Queen of Wands is too much of a philosopher to be able to lead this group. But the reality is they know how to make lasting partnerships. They know how to take somebody who is not a fan and leverage their personality, their beliefs, their words to make friends. That's an important skill set. Can you take somebody who is upset? Can you take somebody who wants to be cantankerous, one of my favorite words, and win them over? Because if you can't do that, then being a leader, it's not going to work well for you. If you only lead because of fear, then it's only a matter of time before somebody else will be more fearful, more fearsome. There is a Twilight Zone episode where a group of men is basically executing a coup, right? They're taking over. They don't like the current leadership. They decide, we're going to lead this group of people because you can't do it. And it features a mirror, this episode, a mirror that is supposed to predict the future. I'm sorry, Lee, I'm running late on those personal questions. I will get to it shortly. My bad. We have somebody that is basically realizing if you can't also make friends just as easily as you can, call someone out or backhand them, then you don't have a place as a leader. That Twilight Zone episode shows the crumbling of this group who had worked together to take over a country. But the leader ends up, I don't want to spoil it, but it is from the 60s, so I don't really feel that bad. They end up turning on everybody that they fought to take over that country with because they don't have that trust, right? So if you don't have that ability, then you cannot be the leader. Seems pretty fair to me. All right, we're going to pull just a few more from the Kipper, and then I'm going to start those personal questions, okay? Hello, Pedro. How are you doing? Joshua, that's funny. What are we saying? Hey, let's just take a deep breath, everyone. It's too early, at least in my day, maybe not in your day. It's too early for this. We have the ability to calm down and rise above and not have to have a contentious energy, right? Y'all don't know each other. I don't know you either, but I want you to have a good day. Then it's too late for it, okay, Tattoo? For me, it's 7:17 in the morning. Ooh, twin flame number. And I just want you to have a good day. All right, let's cut the arguing. All right, so let's see what we have from the Kipper. Hello, Indra. Hello, Nawaji. How we doing? Hello, Civis? I don't know if I'm saying your name right. My apologies if I said it wrong. I sure hope so, Shabam. Thank you, Nina. So we have marriage, great fortune, and message. It is because this Queen of Wands Hermit energy is capable of forging partnerships effectively. It is because they have the ability to negotiate, and they can leverage both fear and friendship. I can build a strong bond with you. I can have your back, but I can also destroy you if you betray me. That's what this King of Wands Hierophant is looking for. So we have a deal being struck. And you're like, Carmen, that's a marriage card. A marriage is a contract. And in this reading, that contract is about somebody becoming the boss, right? All right, Tattoo, you're just too distracting, my friend. You want to come back tomorrow? That's cool. Maybe we can start again. But we don't want to have this negative energy here, okay? It's just too much. No, I don't think I would say that, Joshua. I think it's about knowing which tool in the toolbox is the right one to leverage, right? Hello, David, how are you doing? So this decision gets made, and the Queen of Wands Hermit energy is the person who gets the job. They get to be the boss, not just because they know how to fight, not just because they know how to, you know, maybe be a little bit of a spy, or they're comfortable breaking the law, but because they also know how to build relationships, or they also know how to be loved or get like that friendship out of people. Oops. Thank you, Indra. What is both their motives? Hello. I'm sorry you feel that way. I asked multiple times for that to stop. So I'm going to time you out now too, okay? It's my channel. If I ask people to be respectful and they aren't respectful, then that's how it's going to go. And I'm sorry you feel that way. But I'm trying to do a reading and it got real distracting out there. To Shayla and Gracie, I appreciate that you were defending me, but we also have to be respectful to others, okay? Let's see what we've got from the Santa Muerte, and we're going to start with Lee's question. So for Lee, we have, will the club's clam bake be drama or no? Will it be full of drama? No. However, we do have the Hermit and the High Priestess in the reverse. There's something brewing under the surface. Is this somebody who's decided not to make an issue at the clam bake? So it's like, I don't want to talk about this here. I don't want to cause the drama, but there is like drama underneath the surface, right? So we have the Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Hey, Daniel, do you get paid for what you do? I do charitable things. All of my general readings are free. So let's be a little bit more respectful, please, okay? It costs money for a personal reading, but all the general readings that I do, there's 11,000 of them, are free, okay? Hello, Joey, how are you doing? Hey, let's not bring people who don't have homes in this. What are you doing? That's pretty rude of you. Why would you do that? Man, y'all, let's have a good day. What is with the negative energy? Oofda. Well, Lee, it looks like there won't be much drama. because people are trying to keep it out of the party, which maybe on my next live stream we can experience. But at this point, it's also saying there is likely another event coming up where that drama is not going to be so expertly held back. It might seep out, you know? This is like under the surface, and with that 5 of Pentacles, it's also saying, again, make sure that you leave at the right time. It could be that you start to notice people are getting a little tipsy or a little mouthy, and maybe in the parking lot or like at the next place, there's a little bit of drama. But it seems like the actual clam bake is going to be just fine. All right. Oops. Let's see what we've got for Indra. That makes sense, Shayla. Hey, Daniel, I don't really like to put myself in a box, but I will tell you that Wiccan is spelled with 2 C's, and I am a little bit crazy about spelling. I just believe what I believe. You gonna make comments like that, I'm gonna hide you, okay? And yes, I do know British slang. Not all of it, but I have some friends in the UK who make sure that I know the best ones. All right, so we've got Indra up next. Yeah, Gane or Gain, we're done here. What is the... We're going to go with motives for number 1 and number 2, and Indra, you can go ahead and assign what number 1 is and number 2 is as far as the 2 individuals, okay? So, what would be the motives for the first person in Indra's mind, please? Never ending. A cycle that continues. So someone who wants to keep someone else trapped, someone who has no desire to make changes or learn from those situations. Yo, do I really need to be a babysitter right now? Oy vey. Y'all, let's just chill, okay? Gain, I know you have more important things to do with your life. Stop. We're over it, okay? Hey, Carrie, how are you doing? Hello, we can see you. Thank you, Tom. I hope you're having a good day. So, Indra, we have somebody who could choose to learn from their situation, but instead they're choosing not to, even though they keep having this opportunity to learn from it. So, it's interesting because we do have Strength and Devil in the reverse, but we also have the Death card in the reverse. This is like, I'm going to act right for a day, and then I fall back into old patterns, right? I'm going to do something that looks promising, and then I go right back into the negative, right? Let's just stop, you guys. Why are we fighting? Let's just chill, please. Hello, CJ. How are you doing? Daniel asked me what I believe or how I identify. That's really, like, whatever. But you also said, let me guess, it costs money for a reading. So, Daniel, you feel like I should do everything for free? I don't get Like I don't deserve to eat some food? That's where you got off on the wrong foot, my friend, okay? So let's not be judgmental of other people in the live chat. Let's respect the fact that what I do here, it's not going to be free, but the large majority of what I do are free readings, free videos. So you started off with that energy. Let's not pretend that you're above it, okay? You can start off differently and with respect, then you won't invite that energy to escalate. So for Indra, let's just keep in mind that somebody is very good at talking about doing things the right way, but they're not going to. For the second person, what are their motives? Gain. Get a life, homie. For real. How many accounts do you want me to block? Second person's motives, please. Five of Wands in the reverse, Eight of Swords. The second person's motives, they want to make things right, but then they feel like they get caught up in the chaos. With that Eight of Swords, we have someone who feels like they're caged or trapped, right? The World and the Seven of Wands in the reverse. This makes me feel like we have somebody here, Indra, who has good intentions, wants to close out a chapter, but the timing is wrong, or they're surrounded by people that don't seem to support that change. If you decide that you're ready to change your life, but you remain surrounded by people who are stuck in bad energy, it makes it that much more difficult for you to make that change. So it feels to me like we have two people who talk about wanting things to change or talk about what's frustrating them, but they don't make any of the behavioral or maybe even location changes that would support them actually making that change, right? Three of Wands in the reverse and Judgment. So if you say, I want to lose weight, but you continue to have the same eating habits, or you don't change your workout plan, whatever it is, you know, you can't really expect change if you're not willing to actually put effort into changed behavior, right? All right, see you later, Daniel. Maybe just like don't talk down to people who want to make money for doing what they do. Hello, Jamaica, how are you doing? Hello, Huss, what's up? Hello, Trey. What's going on, Max? Are we being judgy? Hello, Bout. How are you doing? Ooh, ignore. Indra, why have you not blocked your ex? I beg of you, please block your ex. Please block your ex. Please block your ex. Please block him. Please. You don't need to talk to the ex. It doesn't matter why. It's a repeating cycle. It's the same thing. It's like a song is on repeat, but you don't have the lyrics memorized yet. The lyrics are going to be the same. It's the same thing. Just block, block, block. Por favor. Please. Please. It's going to be the same energy over and over again. And I want you to not be stuck in that loop. Because then it's the same as these two people that I just read on for you, which is, I want things to change, but I'm not changing myself. And you have the ability to change that, right? I think it's a she, Shayla. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, y'all. This has been a doozy. I'm gonna go sage my energy and, like, I don't know, take like a salt bath or something. Let's just please remember that I appreciate the people who come into the live chat with good intention. And the people who don't have those good intentions, I'm going to block you, okay? I give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm a forgiving person. We can work it out, but you gotta have respect. If there's no respect, or if you're trying to start in my live chat, then I'm not going to be patient with you, okay? I don't like the name calling, and I don't like people being like putting that negative energy out there. I created this channel because I want people to lift each other up and stay in that high vibration. And when you let people in a low vibration pull you into that low vibration as well, you're doing yourself no favors, okay? So let's do like a group hug real quick and be friends. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for hyping if you're able to. And thank you for checking out my candles on Etsy. I will see you on the next reading. Doodles.